Hello everybody, welcome to OpWoo for June 7th, the first official OpWoo of Pride. Thank you Sarah for that raid and that resubscription, and thank you Deviant Badger for that resubscription as well. I hope everybody is having a very good time zone. I also hope everybody can hear me okay. I probably have music cranked, which I'm not monitoring because it's very distracting. So you're just gonna have to let me know if that music is too loud this entire stream, because it's just gonna chill in the background, and I'm gonna hope for the best. As you can see over to this side, this side over here, we are at $40,975 on our quest to 50K for the Octopunk Europe event. So about $9,000 away with how many days to go? 15 days to go. I think it's more than possible to get there. We are in the final stretch now, just $9,000 left to go to reach that goal. And later today, I'll be talking a little bit about an incentive that I have to get there a little faster and a little bit closer. But in the meantime, I'll remind you of some other stuff we've got going on, like the fact that we've got some new merch that came out last week in honor of Pride. I've got the Stay Great, Hydrate, and Have a Happy Time Zone rainbow design on my Redbubble currently. This is at octopunkmedia.redbubble.com. Lots of different products available, as well as holographic stickers of this design over on the Etsy store, etsy.com/shop/octopunkmedia. That's always a bit of a mouthful. I know a couple people have already taken me up on this new holo sticker, and I'm shipping the first run of them out today, as well as probably shipping the rest of them that have been ordered this week out tomorrow. I also got in, I think I got these in after OpWoo last week. These are the May posters for our $25 patrons in May. So if you were $25 patron or up in the month of May, you'll be getting one of these in the mail. I'll be shipping them out tomorrow because I just got in the proper sized envelopes for them. So this is our first poster. If you snooze, you lose. There was only one chance to get them, and that's already gone. But you have the opportunity to get our new $25 a month poster if you sign up on Patreon by the end of June, and that's an Octopunk Pride design this month. So lots of fun stuff coming to Patreon. Thank you, Blue Birdie and Lime Queenie as well for the resubscriptions. Subscriptions for 7 months and 4 months. Thank you very much for sticking around all that time. On Twitch this week, we'll be returning to Ships and Giggles. If you haven't joined us for Ships and Giggles before, it's a lot of fun. This is our improv show that we do over Zoom. This week's performers will be Michael James Daly, Rune Vaughn, and Marissa Rothbarb. Marissa might be in the chat right now. Her handle is Velochloric, and Marissa is also our Patreon postcard of the month. If you want to get Marissa's autograph, you can join us on Patreon for $10 and up and get this lovely purple crystal voiceover acting card from Velochloric. Who is also, yes, in the chat. Hello, Marissa. Happy lunch. I'll actually be seeing Marissa later today in person, and we'll be hanging out. She's been helping me immensely with the casting for Fallout Sanctuary, and probably will end up be coaching me through some things in Fallout Sanctuary as well, as I attempt to do what she does at 10% of the efficiency. So... so like I said, Ships and Giggles this Saturday. Michael Smallwood, unfortunately, he's in the chat right now, but he can't join us on Saturday. So I'm trying to find a fourth performer to pinch hit for him. We might end up having a fourth performer joining us for Ships and Giggles. But for now, we've got Mike Daly, Rune, and Marissa, who can probably more than handle their own, just the three of them. This is at noon on Saturday here on Twitch in that noon Saturday time slot that we've been returning to lately. If you're here Saturday this past weekend, we did a first episode of Breakout Roles, which is the new tabletop RPG Saturday stream series. Me and Greg had a long night in Mech Bay with our giant mech codename Noise, and we calibrated some arms with the YMCA and saved the day with Space Maple Syrup. It was supposed to be a very emotional experience. It ended up being a very funny one, and that VOD is currently on YouTube. Um, and Michael Smallwood will certainly return for the next Ships and Giggles, I am sure. I will make sure that it doesn't clash with his schedule next time. Oh, and Rune is in the chat as well. Hello and welcome to Rune. Rune did a really, really, really exceptional job when we did Ships and Giggles live. It really makes me want to do another Ships and Giggles in person because I think the performers really had a good time actually being able to interact in person with each other. As far as other stuff coming to Patreon, other than Marissa's card, this week we've got part 2 of our Detroit Evolution Blu-ray commentary track. I posted the first episode of that yesterday for all patrons, so if you haven't gotten a chance to listen to the Detroit Evolution Blu-ray commentary track, you can go on Patreon and check out the first 15 minutes of that. The next 15 minutes will be posted most likely on Wednesday. And on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, we have our first $5 live stream of the month. This is going to be a Q&A rather than a work stream, and the Q&A is going to be with costume designer Hannah Hanamaki. Hannah did an absolutely fantastic job doing the costume design and building for What a Beautiful Wedding, and also costume curation and design for Femme Fatale. So we'll be talking about both films. You'll get an early kind of look at the costumes for both What a Beautiful Wedding and Femme Fatale. We'll talk about where she got our costumes from, how she did all of the aging effects on some of the period pieces and historic clothing. Michael Smallwood says, I should listen to that commentary track at some point. I don't remember it at all and no idea what I said. Maybe that's for the best for you, Michael. Maybe it's for the best if you just let that be in the ether and don't remember what you said on it. I can say that you asked Chris and Maximilian who is the better kisser at one point, to which they replied, well, we would both have to kiss you. So that's coming probably next week when that scene comes out. I think that's everything for Patreon this week. I think the other thing I wanted to talk about, of course, was the Detroit Reawakening campaign. Now, going back to that, like I said, we are just 9,000 and some change away from this $50,000 goal. If we reach our $50,000 goal next year, we will be hosting an Octopunk fan event in Europe, hopefully in both London and Germany. That's the goal. So just 9,000 away with 15 days to go. I feel really confident in this. You've done amazing donating and sharing and participating in this campaign already. But I do have a little bit of an incentive to get us there a little closer, a little faster. So let's get this out of the way. So I want to reach $45,000 by next week's OPWU. And that's not too hard. It's about 4,000 away. We raised about 3,000 in the past week. So 4,000 isn't that ambitious. But I would like to get there. And if we do get there by next week's OPWU, then I'll reveal details about this year's DE Art Fest early. If you don't get there by Monday, it'll come soon enough. It'll probably be the last Monday in June that I'll talk about DE Art Fest for 2021. Although Michael is saying it is a pretty big reveal. It is a pretty big reveal considering what this year's DE Art Fest is actually about. It is going to be a completely new concept. It's going to be all new prompts and a very different experience than last time. I will say there's still going to be daily prompts. It's still going to be every day in July, and it's still going to be in our Detroit Read 900-y universe. But if you want the full details on what I have planned, let's try to get to 45,000 by next week's OPWU, and you can find out about 2 weeks early what that is going to be. Bakasara says, Michelle's reveals never disappoint. Oh, thank you. I always try to undersell and over-deliver, they say. Even Michael is surprised at this reveal. Well, I figured it was, it was one of those things where it's not a big deal in the sense of, it's a 2 week early, embargo, but it is I think you'll want to hear this. I think it'll be fun to hear it. And 45,000, like I said, it's a modest goal. So tell your friends, pick up any perks that you haven't gotten a chance to get yet. We do have the Blu-rays at $50 and up. Remember, that was a stretch goal. So if you were kind of waiting to get your hands on a Blu-ray, that's now at the $50 pledge and higher. We also have several signed scripts available. We have a few more video shoutouts, and we have one more $1,000 level perk. That is the screen used prop or costume piece that will ship you from the film. So if you really want an immortal piece of the film, you can jump on that. Michael says, I feel so bad for so many of your schedules once Art Fest starts because you're going to want to limit yourselves and you won't. You're not strong enough. That seemed to be what happened last year with DE Art Fest during July. And if you aren't familiar with what DE Art Fest is, check the DE Art Fest tag on Instagram. You can see a lot of the art that was posted last year. So for anybody who's come, after last July, it was a really fun event where every day there was a different art prompt and folks were challenged to meet the prompts in the world of Detroit Evolution. And it's going to be like that again, but there's going to be a twist on the prompts. There's going to be a twist in the entire concept of the festival. And like Michael says, you'll be pretty excited to find out, I think, what it is. Now, I also have actually quite a lot of preparation that I have to do for Art Fest as well. There's some stuff that I have to work on in order to get ready for it, because it's taking some creative energy from me as well. So I am in a sense participating in it this year. But I think I'll have it ready enough to be able to talk about it next week if we reached 45,000. So fingers crossed, we'll find out next OPWOO whether or not we reach that in time. It's been a while since we did Fan Art of the Week, so I wanted to go ahead and do that. We've got several pieces of lovely art to talk about today, ranging from a variety of things that we've been working on recently. This one by Ashtay Jam on Twitter is absolutely amazing. These are planters that were designed after Gavin and Nine's in Detroit Reawakening, all about, regrowth and the green in the plant analogy. I also love the irrevocably linked heart design on the hearts. I don't even know how Ash actually got them in this shape. Like, that alone is mind-boggling to me. But this is super cute. Go visit them on Twitter and give them some love for this. There's also lots of other pictures and angles of this, and they're in the chat now too. So give them some love in the chat. This is from Rocky182 on Twitter. Always love Rocky's art, and this is no exception. A lovely painting of the final moment in Detroit Evolution. I don't know if they're in the chat today, but if they are, give them some love. And if not in the chat, go follow them on Twitter and Instagram and check out their previous work that they've done for us. Lorna at it again with some absolutely stunning work, this time on Twitter. I'm really digging the Rembrandt, the sort of Rembrandt look that's been in Lorna's art lately. This is absolutely stunning. She's absolutely outdone herself this time. If you haven't seen this yet, this is really breathtaking, isn't it? I'm sure you're already following Lorna on all of Lorna's platforms, but if you aren't, definitely go check out Lorna Art on Twitter, as well as, I believe, Lorna Vander Stieghellen, on art on Instagram. Lorna's on a delay, so it's just a lot of shouting my name. Lorna, feel free to throw your Instagram handle in the chat. I don't know if links work, but at the very least, you can throw your handle in there. This is from Can't Draw Hands on Twitter. A lovely painting of Zen Gavin. I always like seeing Zen Gavin art, and I always like seeing Connie's art as well. That's Appreciation Police in the chat, so at them and give them some love. It looks like a lot of our artists are in the chat today, which is really lovely. Can't Draw Hands has done so much art in the past, so much art for both Seven Deadly Sins, Detroit Evolution, and beyond. So go follow them on Instagram and see all of the lovely stuff that they have done. I got so tickled by this. This is from Suroneko Miko on Twitter. First of all, just the idea of everything being in Japanese and this style is so cool to me. But what really got me about this is seeing a manga version of Chartreuse. Like, that's super cool. I love seeing what Japanese fandom comes up with, especially because, we've got those Japanese subtitles thanks to Pillowcat and our other Japanese translators from the film. I don't know if I've ever seen anything from this artist before, but go give them some love on Twitter because this is cool. Yeah, Michael Smallwood says that's me in my jacket in manga form. I just love this style. I love this style. And definitely go follow them on Twitter and see what else they've done. I fucking gasped when I saw this on Twitter this weekend, especially because this came out not just a few hours after we actually finished A Long Night in the Mech Bay, but this is from Zeusatech on Twitter. This is me and Greg as our characters, Viking and Chief from A Long Night in the Mech Bay, as well as our mech noise behind us, voiced by Austin. There's so many awesome details in this. First of all, the fact that the green gem is on my helmet in this is so cool. Greg's got his robot arm going on. Just the more I look at it, the more details I notice. It's really cool. I see them in the chat as well too. And I was actually torn with them because they had two pieces of art that I really liked in the past few weeks. The other one was a Detroit Awakening piece of art. So go check that out on Twitter if you want to see what that looks like. It was really gorgeous. And it's actually from a scene of Detroit Awakening that I don't remember ever seeing art done of, surprisingly enough. So very well done. This is some lovely Detroit Reawakening art from Om45 Pastel on Instagram. Om's had a few great pieces in the last month, but this was my favorite because this is so conceptually interesting. I love the blue and the red, the flowers and the hearts, the growth and the Valentine's Day. There's so much cool stuff going on here. I don't know if Om's in the chat right now. I know it's very late in the middle of the night for them right now. But definitely go give them some love for all the stuff that they've done in the past 2 years, since Om has been with us for over 2 years since the beginning now. This made me laugh, but in the best way. This is from Don't Ciel on Instagram. Friendships are underrated. Some solidarity between Ada and Nines in an arrow and an ace. And I think he's got the MLM flag button as well. I love Ada and Nines friendship, sibling, rivalry, whatever you want to call it. Also, I love Ada flipping the bird. That's also really adorable. So yeah, arrow ace solidarity, really cute. Definitely go check them out on Instagram and give this some love because I love this interpretation of the characters. And finally, from Green Dragon G Arts on Instagram, another reference to A Long Night in the Mech Bay from Saturday. In space, no one can hear you yelp. This was one of Greg's quotes from his character, Chief. And I don't remember whether or not it was a double entendre between screaming and also leaving a Yelp review on Captain Fryland's Diner on Delta 6. But either way, the fact that this is embroidered is really amazing, especially with the short amount of time that it was done in. So go give this some love on Instagram. And that's all I've got for today. It's a relatively short opwu, a relatively quiet week. I'm just working on some What a Beautiful Wedding editing. I'm working on casting for Fallout Sanctuary. Probably not going to be writing live screamers quite yet, but hopefully we'll get started on that in the next couple of weeks, as well as finishing up our campaign for Detroit Reawakening in the next couple weeks, and also doing some preliminary work on my own for DE Art Fest this July. If you want to find out what DER Fest is going to be this year, be sure to help us get to $45,000, like up in here, that 90% mark, by next Monday's opwu. In the meantime, I'll hopefully see you on Saturday for Ships and Giggles with Rune, Michael Daly, and Marissa. And as always, stay great, hydrate, and have a happy time zone.